So hi, when we go podcast, I'm Shane,
I'm Glory.
and we're here with.
I'm Tyler from Another Day Dawns. I play guitar.
All right, some questions to say about the upcoming album, Finding Peace Through All the Noise. So congrats on that, by the way. How do you feel about the response, the announcement so far?
Thank you. It's been amazing. We wanted to start promoting the whole album a lot sooner, but we knew Hesitate was going to be the last single, and since that was doing really well and like it got picked up by Octane and a bunch of stuff, so we took some more time to just focus on that. We thought about pushing the album back even just to give that some time, but we're still gonna go ahead with that on October 6th. It's been like we've been sitting on it for so long. I'm just so ready to get it out there, and that's what makes it almost even harder to like sum up the creation process because it took course over like since the pandemic and lockdown hit. Like that's when we really locked in and started the creation process. So I mean, between then and getting to the studio, we did so many different approaches, we went in like a lot of different directions that just ended up being scrapped. Like we had songs that could be like Kings of Leon songs, and then we'd go right to like a drop G, like genty riff sounding thing. And the label was kind of like, this needs some cohesion.
hmm
So Cody and I, towards the end, started working with a guy named Tom Hain. He used to drum for In This Moment. He does a lot of work with Motionless and other great bands.
hmm
And we clicked with him right away, luckily. You know, we're not used to like working with co-writers or anyone outside of like our producer, really. So when the label sent us like a big list of like people to work with, and we're like zooming all these people, meeting them, we were feeling weird about all of it. But Tom, we clicked with instantly, and all the songs we did with him, like we got, I want to say like 5 done in a week, and at least 3 or 4 of them made it on the album.
God damn.
So
Yeah.
he was really awesome, and I think his influence definitely like showed a bit because we've been getting a lot of compliments from the new songs saying they sound a little motionless, like so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, the record rips. We actually spoke with Dakota off of the back of the Papa Roach and Memphis Mayfire tour that you guys did. What
Mhm.
was it, 2021 now?
Oof.
Oh,
2022?
that was just a one-off show too, actually.
Was it? I thought it was like a string of shows.
Yeah.
Well, they did a string of shows.
Okay.
We like the deal actually was, I don't know what Cody said to you guys. Maybe he confused something, but it was the day after Blue Ridge, which was like our first festival, and it was Breaking Benj, Papa Roach, and Memphis were going on a tour, but Papa Roach didn't make the first date, so there was like a little slot for another band that we
Okay.
took.
Okay. I
Okay.
gotcha.
Gotcha.
So
But yeah, that was an awesome show.
okay, well then we chatted off the back of that, and it was like it just felt like something was going to happen with the band, and clearly things have gone on since then. I mean, you got signed, you went on tour with Breaking Benjamin, you went on tour with Memphis Mayfire, and I actually just saw you guys less than a month ago in New Jersey, and it's just I'm glad to see all the success because the album rips. I've been loving the singles. Was happy that I got to check out the full record before it comes out.
Mhm.
And just stoked on all your success so far. So congratulations.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. So, is there any meaning behind the album title or cover art?
So coming up with the album name, we the the label gave us like 3 deadlines, and like by all of them we were like, we're trying here. Because like I said, it was kind of, usually it's really easy to like stick a theme on something or like reflect on the whole process and generalize it in some way, but like I said, we went in so many different directions, and I think like at one point we just realized all these songs kind of reflect the periods we were going through in the pandemic. Like a lot of ones that I'm sure everyone going through lockdown could relate to. So yeah, finding peace through all the noise is, I think Cody is the one who came up with the original name for that, and we were all pretty excited about that. And I mean, it was weird because there was a period for 2 3 days, everything we came up with, like everyone else was like, eh. And then Cody said that, and it seemed to sum it all up pretty well. Artwork too.
Mm-hmm.
I do got to give a shout out to our buddy Logan Beaver, who's been doing all the artwork and killing it. He's we've worked with him a lot. Like we've had him as a live sound guy. We've recorded like demos and stuff with him before, and so like now he's doing the artwork. He's done a lot of stuff for us, and he always kills it.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So can you tell us a little bit about your writing process for the album?
Honestly, at first, I mean, like we're very different than most bands nowadays, because most bands when they form, it's like you're in the studio writing your songs that way before you even like play live or have any of that kind of feel. So I always look at us as, it's not really accurate, but like a jam band in that way of we create stuff by just literally getting together, like hanging out, smoking, and then it just kind of takes us from there. And we've been doing it since we were kids to this point. It's just kind of, we're the ones who like approach all the studio stuff with the sense of like, can we pull this off live? Can we replicate this or that? And getting into like what is second nature to most bands nowadays is really difficult for us. But I think that just comes from the like, we don't want to give up the human element, and we get a lot of compliments on the road even for like our live show, because we don't backtrack anything that like we can be playing ourselves. But I think that really was the basis for how we write songs. It typically starts literally with just like a riff. We could be sitting on something for like a month. We could get up like a verse, chorus, and then get stuck, and then like months later we'll bring it back out and finish it. I mean, the first song to really kick off this whole process was "Look at You."
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of songs that came right after that, and they're primarily the ones we've been playing live. So a lot of people do know them and have for like 2 years now, which is crazy. So I think there's like somewhat of a distinction between those songs and like the ones we worked on with Tom Hain. You can tell that the ones with Tom are maybe a little more track heavy, or like you simplify a lot of the instrumentals to like brighten it up with synths and stuff like that. But when it came to like recording it, you know, we only do like live amps, live everything. So honestly, the mixing became a little bit weird there. Like mixing all these elements of purely electronic stuff, getting it to just sound good with our instruments without like editing and mixing our instruments to hell.
So essentially what you guys are gunning for is like, even if there's synths or electronic parts on the songs, if you strip that back and didn't play the tracks live, the songs would still be songs with drum, bass, guitar, and vocals at their core?
Yeah. I mean, like there's songs where it's like there'll be a period where it's like just Cody and tracks for like maybe a couple seconds and stuff like that. So I mean, yeah, not depending on tracks though is like pretty important for us, but like at the same time, like we still use plenty of tracks. You even on like past records, pretty like synth heavy and a lot of 808s and stuff.
Fair enough.
Makes sense. So what song off this album took longest to write, and which one is your personal favorite?
I do gotta think a little bit, because we like cut so many songs and there were so many that were gonna make it that I really wanted. I'll at least say none of the songs with Tom took long at all. Those were all, it was almost, it's weird how well we work almost under the gun.
Mhm.
Um, Longest, I'd say maybe Luminous Bloom. I had sorry, I still have to remember. We have like our demo names that we've been calling. That song was called Elden Blues. Luminous Bloom though.
Mhm.
That probably took the longest. Um, just because it ended up going in a lot of different directions. And I think you can kind of hear that's the one I'm also most proud of. I have to say because it packs in a lot of elements that like sum up our band, and it's really hard because like songs like Bitter, that's just kind of straight riffing all the way through, or like a song like Brand New, that doesn't really get heavy. That's just kind of almost grungy. But that's got like so much grunge elements, and like it's still like in drop G and riffy as hell. And
Mhm.
one thing that always amazes me is I have a lot more of the metal background. Um and I know Cody doesn't like screaming a lot, so when I write a really heavy riff, I'm like, yeah, try to sing over this, you little shit. Like he'll pull out like this really like Alice in Chains almost kind of thing, and I'm like, that's so cool. Like the bridge in that song, like it kind of slows down a bit, gets real chuggy,
Mhm.
and it's got like all these layered harmonies that we like put phasers and a bunch of effects on, and I love that. And like I would have never guessed that's how the vocals or end result would have turned out just from like making the instrumental to that song.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
So how did the track list for the album come about? Did you guys write the opener be the opener, closer be a closer? Did you shuffle around and see what fits? What was that process like?
We shuffled it around. I think we always knew we at least wanted to start with Bitter though. Um, the live track we have for it, I don't even know if it's gonna be on the. I don't think it's on the record. But I think that was why we just kind of assumed it was the first track. We made this um, opener, and Steve Sobchak, you know, kind of made it with the intentions like we want to try and like open with this song live, and it just immediately sounded to us like the perfect way to come out. And it was like the
Mhm.
first single. I think it just smacks you right in the face. But other than that, like a lot of orders felt weird, and it was like hard trying to make sense of them. But going with the title of the album, I think we kind of wanted to pattern them in a way that like shows the growth, put them like
Mhm.
in the order of stuff we went through over the course of the past 3 years. So like I know the last two songs are like Luminous Bloom, and then it ends on like Brand New. So it's like definitely supposed to like turn around and like end uplifting like that almost.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
makes sense. So, would you be able to tell us where your headspace is at while you're creating this record?
Many places. It was honestly at first it almost felt like kind of, I don't want to say fun because, but to have like the excuse to just sit at home and play music all day
Yeah.
was pretty awesome. But like I said, we've been doing this for like 12 years collectively. We spent our teenage years as a cover band doing like 3 4 hour sets in bars like
Yeah.
every single weekend.
Yeah.
So like after just a month or two, like we slowly started going downhill. Like that was just what we had done since we were like half of our lives.
Yeah.
We couldn't anymore, and like I know personally it took like quite a physical toll. I'm not a very active guy, and I mean we're not like Slipknot with pyro sweating up there, but like I feel like that was a good genuine workout. I didn't realize how much it was keeping me in shape because I quickly got very out of shape. Um, We all like at one point started going through a lot of our own stuff though, and there was definitely a feeling of disconnection. Like we weren't finishing songs, like practices were getting more spaced out. And I mean, we pulled ourselves around in a lot of ways. I mean, especially like around the time shows came back. Like I remember after that first run we had in 2021 with Atreyu, Nonpoint, and Tetrarch. And then we did like several festivals and a tour with Starset and The Word Alive.
Mhm.
And we all like it's just like we just clicked right back into place. And that
Yeah.
was when I think songs like Bitter and Luminous Bloom started coming out. And we were like so excited, and I think that's when we started having more of the songs that sounded like us. Like I said earlier, we wrote a lot of like softer songs that could almost be like Kings of Leon. We call it
Yeah.
just like sad boy era because we
Mhm.
were just that's all we could get out. And then after all that, we thought we were pretty much ready for the album to come out, and that's when we got signed. And when Century told us like we really like what you guys have going on, but pick a lane. Like I said, the cohesion, and we just got into like lots of deep talks of them getting to like know us, wanting to know our direction, and they just wanted us to like do everything right. Of course, I mean it's our debut album. They know a lot more about what has to go into that than we do, so that's when they introduced us to Tom, and then like I said, a lot of those songs just kind of came together really quick too. And since then, we've been like very much back in that headspace, and we've
Mhm.
even been playing songs live that might be like in whenever the next album is.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that pretty much led up to the studio, and we even went back like a couple times. Just like last second, they were like, "We're so excited about this, like we just want more." And then
Mhm.
like the album was gonna be some more songs, and so we had like broken up studio time for quite a while. That made it take even a bit longer, but that's the general timeline from the beginning to end of that album.
All
Makes
right.
sense.
A
Sounds good.
lot going on, a lot of time, a lot of
I know
stopping and going.
we haven't like had any interviews on it since then because we really didn't do much or have an album to talk about. So
Yeah.
it's like now we're doing all these interviews and stuff. I'm like, oh my god, like I need to just trace back through the last 3 years of my life. I didn't. I don't know. I have horrible memory.
It'll get you, but at least I would prefer the long answer of like, this is what the past 3 years of my life has been, other than you
Mhm.
just being like, it was crazy, man. Like you had to be there.
You won't believe it.
Yeah.
Nothing real crazy, really.
Yeah, it was just 3 years of my life. How do you recommend your fans to listen to this album for the first time? Should you do it in the car with friends, in the dark with headphones on? Is workout album, party album? What do you personally recommend?
I want to say, of course, like buying the physical copy, you'll get the real thing. Like Spotify and Apple all have like all streaming services have specific mixes. So like, of course, I want to say like go stream on Spotify and Apple Music and all that. I mean, I always just go like straight to the Dropbox link. Like, I don't know if I can drop that for you guys though. But I mean, it's going to be on all streaming platforms. I'd say, headphones will do great. There is some like, 808s and a lot of like that kind of stuff. I know I emphasize that we're like, live amps and all that stuff. You don't think you'd want like real lows, but we do blend those in really well.
Mhm.
But yeah, and I think we put all the songs in the right order and just sit back and front to back.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Awesome. So this one should be super, super quick off the top of your head. I want you to describe this album for new listeners in 3 words. No more, no less.
Growth, demons, and purpose.
Perfect.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
perfect. It's perfect. It's perfect.
Oh yeah. So can you talk about any particularly challenging or standout moments from the creation of this album, positive or negative?
Definitely one of the hardest things was starting to work with other co-writers. Like I said, we are only used to like writing amongst ourselves internally or like, with producers and whatnot. And especially like COVID time, all these writers we're working with, it's over Zoom. And I was like, there's got to be like, all these people have been doing Zoom sessions for writing over the course of the pandemic. Like, they've got to have like a system in place. Like, can't be that like awkward and weird. And then we tried with like several people, and it was really awkward and weird.
Mm-hmm.
And we just, I don't even know. Like, the songs are just nah, and we did not click with the person. And then we were like about to give up before we found Tom, but like, and that's when we realized how important chemistry is to us when it comes to writing. Because I don't get the whole like I write my best when I'm at my lowest. Like, we all do our best when we're in the best headspace, even if that is like reflecting on a really personal and hard time of our lives. So clicking with Tom really helped, and it almost immediately turned into like half the Zoom sessions were like just us sending each other memes and TikToks and shit. We'd be like, okay, last one, and then we really gotta get back to work.
We'll get back to work now.
Yeah, that was like every session, and working with like someone like that definitely got the best out of us, and like we're so proud of those fucking songs. And I gotta like commend Tom. Like, he's such a good fucking writer, and we learned so much from him.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you guys were able to get a positive experience out of the co-writing.
Yeah, no, and it's like we still don't ever want to have like bouncing ideas off this guy, then send it to this guy, see his ideas. Like, I really like the team we had, because working with Tom and then our producer Steve Sobchak, we write with him a lot, just up in the studio, and that always goes really well. We have the same kind of chemistry with him, and so I feel like we just found the perfect team.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah. Awesome. So for this question, I want you to picture you're on tour, you're at a gas station for a rest stop, you're going in. What is your snack of choice?
I like, that depends where we are. Like, if we're in Wisconsin, like, I gotta get my cheese curds.
Cheese curds, hell yeah.
Yeah. And obviously, if we're passing a Buc-ee's, you gotta stop at Buc-ee's. And
obviously.
My go-tos are like definitely. Well, it's hard because I want to say like Takis and stuff like that, but I've been trying this past tour. I tried being a good boy and taking care of myself as much as I can, because that stuff does like. If you eat like shit on the road, you're gonna feel like shit all day, every day.
Yeah,
and it's difficult too, because like you get done with the shows and stuff, and like all that's open is McDonald's. But yeah, Takis were definitely my go-to, and it's probably why I have a lot of stomach issues.
Yeah, but Takis,
maybe
they're so good.
They're good as hell though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So for the last couple of questions, gonna shift completely away from music and go straight to death row.
Boom.
So if you're on death row, what would your last meal be with a drink?
I'm gonna go with like a big messy burger from Sheetz. I always put mac and cheese bites on them. I don't know. I'm just trying to think of like what the biggest greasiest meal I could get is, because like I've been so good to my stomach, and like you guys just got me thinking of food now, huh? Yeah, I'll go with the Sheets burger. I don't know.
Burger.
And
Hell yeah.
a drink.
Oh yeah, I got a drink that's Mountain Dew Voltage.
Nice.
Mountain Dew Voltage.
You know?
Yeah.
Damn right. Hell yeah. So if you could live in one fictional world for a week, where would you live?
Probably the Pokemon universe.
Pokemon. Locking it in?
Huh?
Oh shit, locking it in?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Sounds good. So I've thought of asking the last question. Every single person that we've spoken to have said that it is the most important question. What's your favorite color?
Purple.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Love purple.
Yeah, it's very solid. So as I said, that's all the questions we have today. Is there anything that you would like to plug?
Just that our album releases digitally October 6th, which is pretty soon. So be on the lookout for that. We put so much work into it. There was a lot that came into this, and I'm all ready for the next one. So that's all I have to plug.
Hell yeah.
Sounds
Hell
good.
yeah. Hell yeah.
Well, thank you for silence. It's been Tyler from Another Day Dawns, and we have been the Good Noise Podcast.